Hi guys, so what I'm going to do is make a little collage for my self-portrait collage. So I'm going to be doing the background that I'm going to blend in with my face. So what I'm going to do is I started by opening up a new Photoshop document, made it 8.5 by 11, 300 resolution with the transparent background. And then I just went File, Place Embedded, and then added my images. You could also do Open and open them all separately and paste them in there. I'm just doing it this way. Doesn't matter how you do it. So I'm going to click the eyeball off all of my pictures. Woo! And then I'm going to cut out the things that I want and get rid of what I don't. So this one I got off of Pixabay, so it's royalty free because I like coffee. And if I use remove background on this one, it's not going to work because there's too much going on. So I'm going to need to use a different selection tool. So I'm going to come up to my toolbar and do object selection. And then I want you to see what's happening. So see, like, why is it making this weirdo shape, right? It's because I'm on this layer. I need to make sure I'm on the right layer. And then now it will pick the cup. Beautiful. So what I can also do when you're doing this tool, which is pretty neat, is you go up to the select and mask button, and now it's going to show me exactly what is picked. And then there's different ways to look at it. So it's on black. I like this one really well because it's like, look, it's pretty much perfect, right? Then you can also play around with your edges, like if you want to make it fuzzier, if you want to add contrast. So this will become really important if you're trying to make a really good selection. So now with this project, it doesn't really matter as much because we're going to be blending it together. Alright, so that looks perfect. Now what I need to do is hit my layer mask button. You can hit that here. You can also hit that down here. Doesn't matter. And then I'm going to always go back to my move tool. So I'm going to turn that off. My next. This is Miss Geyser's dream camera. I got to use them in college at Johnson County Community College in 1999. I'm still thinking about this camera. It is a film medium format camera. But anyway, this one, perfect remove background. Boom. There's just white, so that Photoshop tool just works perfect. Okay, next one, a little more complicated. I just want Violet's face. I don't want the rest of the stuff. If it wasn't so late at night and me trying to rush to get this done for you guys, I probably would have picked a different picture. So I'm up here. I'm going to not use the object. I'm going to use the quick selection tool. And again, see, I'm tired. Look. I'm on the wrong layer. So I need to make sure I'm on the right layer. So I'm going to re-click. I'm going to do Control D to deselect. And I'm just going to start over. So it's really important that you're on the right layer. And then to make this brush smaller, I'm going to hit the brackets to make it smaller. You can also make it smaller up here. And then I don't know if you guys hear my dog Frank snoring back there, so I'm sorry. That's bothersome. Let's move this out of the way. No, no, no. 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 That's not what I wanted, but alright, let's see. I'm going to go back. There we go. I gotta hit them. Grab the lines. Maybe that much. Alright, now let's see. Okay, that looks a little better. I'm going to maybe smooth out the edges. Feather it a little bit. And then, okay. Remember, it can hit layer mask there or there. Not perfect. Doesn't matter. There's my boy Frank. So Frank is the one snoring in the background, if you can hear him. And again, make sure I'm on the right layer. This is perfect. I'm not even going to do, well, I can, I guess. Looks perfect. It's a little crunchy down there. If you want to smooth that out, you can use the brush tool. Remember, black conceals, white reveals. And then you can see right here, I can take this brush and kind of clean up or get rid of edges if I want. I don't need to do this. I'm just kind of showing you if there's something you need to do with that. So if I want to make it smooth, like that. Alright, next one. Sweet Baby Russ. Okay, so I worked with this one earlier. Oh, make sure I'm on the right layer. And like my knees in there, I'm just going to use the brush to take it out. I tried a bunch of ways to do it, and everything took too long. So I'm just going to hit this. I'm going to go to my brush. You could also just blend it out by when we layer it later too, so it's not even that big a deal. I'm just going to kind of take that out too. If I wasn't rushing, I would have picked better pictures. Okay, I got flower. What do you think? The remove background work? Pretty good. Excellent. Saves me some work. This one I already know it's not going to select easy because of the antennas, so I'm just going to leave the whole picture. Then my last one is the KU flag. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of start from the bottom. Remember, if I move my layers, the one on the top shows up on the top like a sandwich. So I'm going to start with this. And I know I want it to where my head's going to be here and this stuff's going to be kind of over there. So I'm going to do Control T. I'm just going to start with that one there. And then Control T, change the size. Control T, change the size. And I'm doing this fast because you guys are having to watch me do this. So I want you to kind of take your time with this. Okay, again. Then remember, like if I want him behind, I can drag him under, which I do. Then I'm going to show you some other ways to blend. He's so big compared to them. So again, Control T. We have him back here. Okay, just working up kind of like that. Actually, I kind of just like that right there. Now, what if I don't want it on top? I want it back here. But what if I want to blend some stuff together? So I'm going to show you that once I get to my butterfly. I definitely want the coffee behind. It's actually not coming out too bad. Okay, so like this one. Control T. Like I'm most interested in the butterfly. And then I want to like move all these down, right? All of these as a group. So I'm going to hold my Shift key. And I hope hope I got all of them. And I'm actually going to do Control T, and then it's going to resize them all together. Okay. And now I'm back on, oops, click away. I want to figure out a way to make some of this show up, maybe blend. So what I'm going to do, I gotta find my layer. So this is where it also is helpful to label layers, which I obviously haven't. And it's at the bottom. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to make a layer mask. Nothing happened because it's just a layer mask. But now I can use my brush tool. And I'm painting black. The picture's not disappearing. But it is hidden. So it's not erased, it's hidden. I'm not using an eraser, I'm using a layer mask. And then my brush is like way too choppy, so I'm going to turn the hardness down. I'm going to turn the opacity down. And now I can kind of blend it. And you can see it fuzzes out the edges, so I'm like, well, that's taking forever. I can make the opacity higher. And you don't have to do this at all. Like, you don't need to do this at all if you don't want to. I'm actually not loving the way that looks. I kind of just wanted that butterfly, and it just was very uncooperative when I was trying to make the selection. So I'm trying to figure out how to make it work. So I want to kind of take out that edge. And then if I want to go back to just full paintbrush. But I do want to take out this little edge right here. This is bugging me. So there's a lot of ways I could do it. I wanted to take like an hour to try to cut those antennas out. I probably could have. And then Control Plus, I could zoom in. Hi, Bruce. So, and then I can see there's a little. So it's kind of faded. If I wanted it crisper, I would just change the hardness, put it back at 100 or mid, and now you can see it's a little crispier. But again, this is optional. If you like your picture the way it is, then leave it. I kind of want that to fade. Like, honestly, I don't really know how exactly I want it to look, but I don't need you guys to like watch me do all that. Like, this stuff takes me, I get really into it and then it takes me a really long time. So I'm just going to leave it like that. Okay, so then my last is the KU. So I'm going to do Control T. Like, do I want it like here, maybe? Like, maybe I want it here and behind. Oh, I kind of like that a little bit. Okay. So now you could see, since I have that layer mask, that it blends. So I'm going to go back, make sure I'm clicking on right here, that layer mask. Brush. Ooh, kind of like that. And I still got my butterfly, and then it's kind of mushed into that KU flag a little bit. And I'm just have very low opacity, so I can like really blend it. Okay. Okay. not too bad. I don't like that edge right there. Turn it back up. Okay. So this is what I got. Let's see, I want to make that flower maybe just a tiny bit bigger. I don't really want that leaf. All right. Oh. I don't know how I feel about that touching down there. There we go. Okay, and then just one more thing I can show you. There's also blending modes. So this is how the layer blends with the other layers. Optional. Don't need to mess with this, but I just want you to know it's there, especially once you put your portrait on there. You might want to blend your layers like this. Maybe not, but look, right now it's not doing anything that I like. It is a really cool tool though. Sometimes you can like double up your layers and then mess with it. But yeah, like I said, right now I don't think I need this. But just so you know it's there because you might. You can also pick your whole layer and change the opacity of the whole layer. So how see-through is that whole layer? So maybe I want my sweet baby rose to be kind of blended in with the flower, but I don't. Or maybe like the coffee cup, I want it to be a little bit more transparent or not. So this opacity is your whole layer. Alright, so this is my whole collage image for now. The next step is I'm going to add my face and do a background. I actually might add another picture in the background that represents me. But this is a good place to start. So I have at least 5 pictures. I have I have a bunch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 8. So you want a nice variety, and then I want whoever's looking at it should know something about you. Then I'm going to just save this as a Photoshop document right now because I don't want to compress it yet, because then I'm going to add my portrait on there, and then if we want to do that then at that time, we'll do it at that time. We'll make those all into one file. So I'm going to go File, Save As, Photoshop document. So I have all my layers, everything I did is intact. And then just make sure you save it where you want to save it. Oops. And then make sure you don't rename it something that's the same as a different one. So Collage Final. And there we go. Good job.